going. And those are the steps that we're going to keep doing. And then just figure out how to like retweak and refine and better serve women in the community so that we can create better content and better resources for them.
Oh, that sounds powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. For listeners who might not know, describe a hot seat, your particular hot seat.
Yes. So we just had a hot seat. It's a 30-minute call and you apply to be in the hot seat as a member and you fill out some pre-information about, what's your situation? What do you want to get out of it? What are you hoping to gain? And then on the 30-minute call, other members can attend, but I solely focus on that one specific member. Last week, we talked about this gal had just created an opt-in. She's still working full time and she has her industry. So what we did is we spent a little bit more time at getting clear about who's our target market and like the niche. And also what is the product or service that you're selling. I think oftentimes this is a good learning moment is that your weekly content that you produce, whether it's podcast, YouTube, blog, that's not your product. That is your marketing asset. And I'd known that, when I got started, I never thought of it as a business for She Did It Her Way. And one of the things that I had realized, like we had started with a podcast that gained momentum pretty early, but I was like, we have no product. Like, what am I doing? And so being really mindful that like, it's important to create weekly content or biweekly or consistent content, but making sure that you have a product to follow up with that. And part of following up with a product is knowing who your target market is, what are their pain points, how can you solve it? And so with this specific individual, we took and dove into that. And then I gave her assignment. I said, well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to actually go back and survey your email list so that we can tighten up your opt-in, so that we can tighten up what your ultimate offer is. She went back into her community email list and Facebook group and came back and was like, whoa, what I thought that they wanted is not at all what they need. And it was like a completely different, and she goes, I'm so much more motivated now because I have the confidence and clarity of what it is that they want. And that is a problem for them. And so something just like that moment of clarity is what we do in the hot seat. And we stick with a specific individual where the live Q&As, I get on for an hour on Zoom. And if anyone shows up, great. If they don't, like we have them at different times of the day, in the morning and night, to help with people who are international or they're local. But it's kind of like an office hours. You can come ask questions or anything that you're fumbling through or have questions on. Mm-hmm. So, and tonight we have a guest expert training. So it's a lot of fun. It's a community.
It is. Yeah. And for women, for listeners who are thinking, I don't know, I maybe never done that. It sounds cool, but I don't know what that is. That's really cool. I just want to reiterate how powerful hot seats are, because you honestly get feedback that nobody else will tell you. And it's feedback in a loving way. And for me, when my coach, because I've used plenty of coaches and all that good stuff too, they'll ask you these questions and it causes you to think differently. And it causes you to see like that, your opt-in from another's point of view. And it causes you to just reformulate things in a way like nothing else does. I don't know why hot seats are so magical, but they really are.
Yeah. And they're magical too, even if you're not the one in the hot seat. I find so much value out of observing other people get coached.
Yes.
Because I'm like, ooh, it makes me really think about the way that I'm doing the business and thinking, okay, do I need to, try that out? What does that look like?
Right. So. And sometimes it's human nature. We see other people more clearly than we see ourselves.
100%.
And sometimes I'll be watching somebody else's hot seat and I'll be like, she's just artificially making herself busy because she doesn't want to get, oh, wait, that's me. I'm artificially making myself busy because I don't want to get to the real issue or whatever it is. It's really invaluable to be in that space. So if you're curious, I say, look up Amanda. She Did It Her Way. Is it shediditherway.com?
It's shediditherway.podcast.com. Oh my gosh. We have probably 5 different web domains. And that is something that, as your listeners, really stick with just one domain. I made that mistake early on, like years ago, and we had so many multiple domains. It's not good for your SEO, and it's on our roadmap to change it. But long story short, that was a learning moment. But head to shediditherwaypodcast.com.
Perfect. Perfect. Check her out. See some of her services. When is your next summit coming up? You said April?
Yes, it's at the end of April. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 25th, 6th, and 7th. I believe it is. Oh my gosh, I keep messing up those dates, but it's the last weekend in April.
Nice. And is that something that people attend live, or is there a virtual option?
There is a virtual option that you can, if you can't attend it, you can still purchase access to the content. But if you can make it, come. And I'm not saying that just because it's my event. I will, like, the first year was amazing and it was a 1-day event and the energy was insane. And then last year was a 2-day event and we had twice as many women. This year we have 3 days where 2 days are emerging entrepreneur. And then we have a side hustle Saturday. It's a 1-day event. So you're learning some basics of the business and things like that. And I can't even describe the energy and the people that show up. It's like a family. And so even if you're like, I don't know anyone, should I go? Yes, just come. You'll fit right in. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. And on it, like, I would not host an event if there was any ego in the air. So, and it's reflected in the attendees that everybody shows up and everybody's so eager to learn. And I love my attendees and I love my listeners. So
I love that. That sounds like so much fun. I'm thinking, how can I get there?
Yes, please come.
That sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much for today. I had so much fun. I can't even tell you, learning about you and your journey. And again, like I said, just the name, she did it her way. I'm like, ooh, that's me.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. This is a blast and your energy is absolutely contagious. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome. And best of luck with all of your little small steps. And hopefully in the future, you can be on my show again and you can be like, yep, I did all those small steps and now this is happening. And now I've broken down my next segment into these steps and this is where I'm going to be. And I'll be like, woohoo!
Yeah, celebrate. Well, thank you so much.
You are welcome. And listeners, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I know you did. And I will put the links to the to her webpage, to the Asana show, to all of that good stuff so you can opt in if you want to. And I just have to leave you with my last little plug for me. Oh my gosh, I rented the most glorious space for my flaunt retreat. It's in the top of a clock tower. So we're behind the clock face and we look out over the skyline of Denver. March 31st, find your sparkle and learn how to flaunt. So if you're interested in my retreat, my 1-day workshop, please reach out, Laura@lauracheadle.com. And just a reminder, it's L-O-R-A because I have to be difficult. Actually, my parents had to be difficult. Anyway, have a fantastic, wonderful week, everybody. And as usual, don't forget to flaunt.
Tune in next time to Flaunt. Build your dreams, live your sparkle with radio host Laura Cheadle every Wednesday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network. Come release self-judgment, reveal your naked self-worth, and re-choreograph a life filled with joy. Flaunt. Find your fetish, laugh out loud, accept unconditionally, navigate the negative, and trust in your truth. Find out more at lauracheadle.com. That's LoraCheadle.com.